What's up, everybody on Charleston Car Videos? We are doing a little video today in the snow. That's right. We got snow about 2 days ago in Charleston here, and we got a bunch of it. Let me just show you some proof real quick. Let's turn this camera around. Look at that, okay? Yep, it's snowing in Charleston, South Carolina, and pretty much about everywhere around us. Yep, that's snow. So anyways, what are we in? The Mazda CX5. Now, this particular Mazda CX5 is a front-wheel drive vehicle, not all-wheel drive, and it's a 2018 model. So anyways, about a day before the snow hit, I wasn't really thinking about snow or anything like that. I was at the Mazda store. Check out this quick clip. Guess what is here right now? Booyah! 2018 Mazda CX5s have arrived. That's right. So, with the 2018 Mazda CX5s arriving, you know it, we got to do a review, right? I've been waiting long enough, seriously. And I know many of you have been also waiting long enough to see the 2018 CX5. So that's what we're gonna do. We got one ready, already wrapped up, cleaned up, and ready to video. So anyways, stay with us. But I'm gonna show you, because some of y'all say, oh, the 2018s aren't available yet. I've seen that before, right? Let's go ahead and take a look. Right here, and we'll show you. 2018 Mazda CX5. Yeah, it is here. Let's get one cleaned up. Let's get ready to rock and roll and review this bad boy today. All right, everybody, so there is the 2018 Mazda CX5 that we have picked out. You know, a lot of the 18s that just came in are still kind of sitting over that way. They still have to get ran through the shop, get PDI'd and all that. So this was one of the first ones available. This particular CX5 is a touring package car, front wheel drive. So this is what we're gonna start out filming today. And you know, there's a lot of different variants in there of CX5s you can pick from, you know, so the touring's right there. It's got a lot of nice features, but there's a few things on it that it doesn't have. You know, you can get all-wheel drive on a CX5, you can get the GT package. I mean, there's just so much, and we've filmed a lot of these this past year. But again, it's an all new year, it's 2018, so let's go ahead and see what the 2018 CX5 is all about today. All right, so as you can see, you know, it was just a normal winter sunny day. Didn't have any clue about any snowstorm coming to Charleston on that particular day, and we got the 2018 Mazda CX5s in, and I was super excited. We got the keys to one, and we said, all right, we're gonna take one, and we're gonna do some really cool, fun videos with it, right? Needless to say, the next day, it started around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. It started raining, it started sleeting, if that's how you want to call it. And the roads started getting icy and all that. And next thing you know, the news and everybody's telling you, don't go out on the roads, don't go to work, don't go to school, don't do anything. It's snow time, right? And by around, I'd say 5 or 6 o'clock that day, kind of towards the afternoon, or maybe even as early as 2 or 3 o'clock that day, snow just started falling out of the sky, and by 6 or 7 that evening or that afternoon, it was pretty much white outside. So anyways, pretty cool stuff, right? Got a lot of snow. But with that being said, I actually had a guy that commented today about the CX5, and he was like, you know, somebody said, you know, I'm looking at the Jeeps and stuff like that, but I really like this Mazda, but I'm not really sure, you know, how it does in the snow and all that kind of stuff. Well, hey, you know, typically I can't give you an answer for that because it's usually not like this, right? But it is today. Anyways, so we'll see what we can do for a few minutes here this morning while we're out on the highway. We're going over to the local grocery store to see if they're open, to get a few things, and I guess we'll talk a little bit while we're cruising on the road here. I mean, for the most part, I mean, I have driven the car a little bit in the snow when it was really bad. Today's probably the day where the snow is really starting to melt, and I'd say by tomorrow it'll be about half of this, and then over the weekend here, you know, since today is Friday, over the weekend, we'll probably start seeing the snow going away. But from when driving the car the first day after
was snowed all over the place. The roads here had snow all over them. They weren't as cleaned off as this right here. You know, thank goodness the sun is out right now and it's kind of getting these grounds warm and getting the snow off the highway here. But the car has driven just fine in these conditions, and no slipping and sliding or anything like that. So, I mean, I think any car you drive, if you hit some black ice on a bridge or something like that, any car, whether it's all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or whatever, could do a little slip and slide going on. But for the most part, this is what we got. And I'd love to find a little spot outside to show y'all this car, this 2018 Mazda CX5. So that's what we're gonna do. So stay tuned. All right, everybody. So here is the 2018 Mazda CX5. You know, there's not really a whole lot I can do, as in taking the car somewhere unique, filming it, or anything like that, because pretty much, you know, Charleston doesn't ever get snow, and they've pretty much got the highways and everything on lockdown. I mean, they don't want people driving on them. Last night on the news, they said North Charleston, state of emergency. Nobody drive on the roads unless it's, you know, going to the hospital, or it's, you know, something you have to do driving on the roads. So I'm trying not to get on the main highways too much, but we can take a look at the CX5 a little bit in the snow here for 2018 and see what it's all about. So a lot of y'all have asked, you know, what does a car drive like in the snow if you don't live in a snowy area? Well, it drives pretty good for the most part. You know, from what I've been told over the years, front-wheel drive cars actually seem to drive better in the snow than rear-wheel drive cars. What's your opinion on that? I guess a rear-wheel drive car in the snow may drive a little differently, because if you start slipping and sliding, going around corners and things like that, you know, the rear end starts moving all around. You know, the same with the front of a car with a front-wheel drive. I guess it can start spinning around too, which I haven't had that happen yet, because I haven't been driving it in a whole lot of areas with snow other than right through the neighborhood. But it seems the track just fine going right on through here. As you can see, these track marks from where I was cruising through just a second ago. Definitely does look pretty in the snow though, doesn't it? Wow. Just a really cool car altogether, the 2018 Mazda CX5. Never thought I'd be reviewing the CX5 for the 2018 model in the snow, so that's kind of cool. But anyways, not a whole lot of changes from the 17 to the 18, as you can see here. I mean, really looks exactly the same. Again, no major differences that I can tell just yet with this car versus the 2017 model. So the only other major change I've seen on the car that's different from 2017 to 2018 is on the window sticker. It says 18 instead of 17. But yeah. If anything, it just looks great in the snow. It's a beautiful car. It really is. You know, someone commented online about, over in California, something about the LED lighting package, that they can get it with or without. I have not seen that over here on the East Coast in South Carolina. All these CX5s seem to come standard with the LED front lighting on those headlights. Okay, so there's no extra LED lighting package you can pay for on this particular car that I know of. Now maybe it's different somewhere else, but from what this guy commented on online this morning, was that it was like a $400 difference from getting the regular halogen headlights to the LEDs. Well, you know, all I could tell you is, if you're going to buy a Mazda CX5 and it's only $400 extra to get the LED lighting, I would go ahead and get the LED lighting, because it just makes a huge difference when driving this car on the highways and all that. Well, I will tell you, the first day with this car with the snow, it was completely covered, and I really learned real quickly what it's like for people that live up north, having to get the snow off the windows and off the car and all that. I mean, I'm out here, you know, pushing it off the best I can to get it off the car so I could drive it. And I think I did a pretty good job of getting all the snow off the vehicle. Now this is a really pretty color on this car, this blue, isn't it? It's a really nice shade, got a lot of nice metallics in there and all. And again, definitely looks good with that white contrast going on the ground. But there's not really a whole lot of difference here, so there's not really a whole lot I can do on this review today. I will later on today try to get out somewhere where I can, you know, get some footage of me driving the car in the snow somewhere. Okay, so I will do the best I can on that. Let's hop in on the interior and we'll take it right on down the road. This particular model here is the Touring package. One thing I thought that was interesting on the Touring versus the Grand Touring was the seats in this car. If you notice here, you have suede inserts on the seat. Your GT model, the seat is all leather and the stitching is different. It's got red and all that kind of stuff going on, which looks a lot more sportier than this seat here. But I really do like the suede inserts, and once again, Mazda definitely keeps their cars looking good, right? I mean, you're going down in a level of, you know, of packages from a Grand Touring to a Touring, and they're adding suede onto the seats. That's pretty interesting. I like that. Another thing on the Touring that I'm noticing here, you know, this particular one doesn't have a heads-up display unit right there. You know, that could be a deal breaker for some people, not for everybody. But the heads-up display is nice to have. That's for sure. I've enjoyed it on some of the Mazda cars, and it's nice to be able to see the mile per hour and everything going on right there on the window. So that's one thing I noticed. Other than that, everything's really about the same on this car. And yeah, I mean, pretty easy to drive in the snow. I mean, let's give it a little gas coming out of there. Boom. I mean, it gets up and goes just fine. It rolls quite nicely. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to vlog about with this car at this particular moment in time. We got to get back to the house for a minute. I got to do something with the wife and the kids. But again, like I said, I will definitely try to do something more with this car later on in the day when things start getting moving a little bit more. Right now, it's a little bit early in the morning time, and we got some things we got to get done. All right, everybody, thanks for watching so far. Let's see what happens throughout the day here. We got a phone call earlier. We got to run up to the car dealership. So that's what we're on the way to do right now, which I'm kind of glad. Got me out the house for a minute. I was getting a little stir crazy there. I'm sure anybody that's living in Charleston right now is probably a little stir crazy being in the house for the last 3 to 4 days due to the snow. But with all that being said, there is still a ton of snow on the highways, in the yards, everywhere. But the roads seem to be pretty cleared off, and it looks like the sun is kind of melting away the snow on the road, or the guys are out there doing the snowplow thing and getting it off the highways. So we'll see. It's going to be our first time riding up on the interstate here, going all the way up to North Charleston. So let's see what we can get into today on this snowy winter day in January 2018. What's up, everybody? So we made it to the Mazda store. Now we're leaving the Mazda store, and as you can see, the cars are looking pretty chilly. But what's your name again?
Matthew.
We're with Matthew. What's up? Matthew's got some cool dreadlocks, don't he?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, Matthew's taking me over to Volkswagen so I can get my car and get on back home where it's warm at. Yeah. But actually, they're according to Matthew, they actually have some customers out there shopping today. So I seen some folks out there a minute ago. So hey, if you're out car shopping, kudos to you, right? You must really need a car. But yeah, you know, we've had some crazy stuff go down in Charleston since all this has happened. Actually, a lady on the news ended up getting killed up in North Charleston. A young man supposedly was driving and hit her and killed the lady, right, Matthew?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually knows the lady, right?
I know the lady's cousin.
The lady's cousin. So you got to be careful driving on these highways. And you know, she supposedly was, according to the news, was driving. She had a car and just felt like walking instead of driving because she was, you know, concerned about possibly wrecking her car. And look what happens. So that's kind of stuff that happens in these situations, unfortunately, here in the South. All
All right, everybody, we made it back over to the Volkswagen store. So it's supposedly, from what I was just told, yesterday, Friday, they were open, and they actually sold 3 cars on the day opening back up. So, you know, the stores are opening a little bit later in the morning, so they're opening at 11 and they're closing a little bit earlier. But yeah, they're open today. And anyways, we're gonna see what we can get into while we're here at the Volkswagen store, and maybe do a review on something, right? So, you know, the car business is one of those businesses where whatever the weather conditions are, they usually are open unless it's, you know, like the state or the city is saying, hey, you can't get on the roads and things like that. So it was nice to have a little break there for a minute, but as soon as the roadways open back up, the car business opens back up. All right, buddy, say hello to OJ. He's got a bone to pick with me, and we're gonna do it on camera right now.
I don't know.
Come on, give it to me. Tell the world. OJ's upset at me. I don't know why, but he's upset.
I didn't see my video.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute.
What's up? What y'all up to? I'm surprised y'all out here working right now, man. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We're here at Stokes Volkswagen. Let's take a look at some cars in the snow, right? When do we get to do that, right? When do we get to see cars in the snow? Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Volkswagen Atlas is looking good with the snow on it. And it got a good price tag there of $33,874. So right now at Stokes VW, pretty much any car brand new on the lot is $4,000 off MSRP. So I mean, here's another Atlas right here. That's a $40,000 74 Atlas, $40,074, $4,000 off, brings the price down to $36,074 on a Volkswagen Atlas. So I mean, when it comes to getting a good deal on a brand new vehicle, you can get it at Stokes Volkswagen.